Hello, hello. Welcome to the special Thursday live stream for the onboarding. That's the wrong thing. Parallel onboarding stream with special guest Mookah. We're going to do a learn and battle. Super excited for this. I am, for those who don't know, I'm Carpenter of Web3. I am the content and academy lead for Fantasy Top. Been doing streaming and all that fun stuff for with fantasy for making the content for well over a year. And then my co-host, I'll pass it to my co-host Silva. How are you, Silva?
GM boys, doing great over here. It's rewards day in fantasy top land, so we got a little bit of ETH, we got some new cards, so riding high this morning and excited to learn about Parallel, learn from you and Mookah both, and get in the trenches and play some games, man.
Heck yeah, absolutely. And Silva's also part of the academy team. He's my right hand man. Does pretty much helps take like everything off my shoulders. He's a beast. As well as huge part of the academy as content creator, making he has his own stream as well, Fantasy Top Down. For those who didn't know, and yeah, just a beast. And then we are also with Mookah. Mookah, how are you?
I'm doing great. For those that don't know me, I'm a designer here at Parallel. I'm one of the. This is I'm very excited for this because this is my first time, I guess, representing Parallel as an official team member on another, on a collab, I guess, between Fantasy Top and Parallel. For those that don't know me, I've been part of Parallel for a while as a community member. I was a player, and then I was a coach in the esports for a team, and I've worked my way to a designer now. So I'm involved in card creation, balance, new features, you name it, anything kind of like new when it involves gameplay, I'm involved. So I'm very, very happy to be here, and I'm super excited that we're doing this.
Let's
Absolutely.
go.
Yeah, this is super exciting. All right, so we'll kind of start with onboarding. And so with most TCGs, there can be kind of that, they're all similar, but they're different, right? What would you say is the let me rewind a little bit. What do they need to do to kind of just start playing the game? What do they need?
Yeah, I mean, so Parallel is essentially, it is free to play. So if you don't even want to put any dollars in, you could literally download the game and get started. In fact, with Deception, our new expansion coming out next week, you could actually just get a whole deck for free. Like you could get a whole login, play our tutorial, and then you can claim what's called a creator deck, which is made from some of our seasoned players and creators, and you legitimately get a good deck just for starting out. We'll give you a whole deck that does very well.
That is huge. Yeah, that is and so do they need to download like from Epic, or what's the best way to get the game?
Of course. Yeah. So there's two ways to do it. If you want to do it through Epic, which is a much more used launcher platform, you can go on Epic and download it there. And then we also have our own native launcher. So if you go to parallel.life and you go to download it, we give you both options. You can download our native launcher, or you could download it through the Epic launcher. Both are available. And we're actually hoping for later this year or early next year to be on Steam. So we're very, very excited for that. We're pushing for that too. We want the game to be more accessible in more places. And soon after Deception launch, we also will be available on mobile, on Google Play stores and iOS.
That is super exciting, man.
There you go.
All those platforms. I mean, you're hitting all the big ones, and then you said the magic word right there. Hopefully come into Steam pretty soon. Just getting your foot in the door there. I'm sure both of you guys know, and a bunch of our audience, you get into Steam, and I mean, you're accessing millions, I mean, maybe even 1 billion plus PC gamers there. That's massive, man.
Yeah, for sure. We want to go to where the gamers are. We want to showcase this game and we don't want it to be a hindrance just for you to download it, right? Some people don't want to download a game that has their own launcher. Some people don't want to use Epic. Like you said, Steam is like the biggest one by far. So we want to definitely be in those places. And we've been working to get our like quality bar up to a point where we feel happy going on Steam. It was always a goal of us to be on Steam. We never wanted to avoid it, but it was like we want to steadily improve our client, improve the gameplay, all that stuff, so that when people go on Steam, you want to make sure you're giving them something solid to start out with, right? So we've been trying to put our best foot forward, and I think we're very close to a point where we'll be there and we can go on Steam. And we've been in this beta phase for a while, but we're inching our way towards a 1.0 build and really like putting ourselves out there on Steam, and that'll be like a big landmark for us.
Yeah, that's Steam will be huge, as well as the mobile will also bring in a huge amount of just new players. And speaking of new players, is there so like when you get into the game, like say I'm a new player, you go start in the game. I heard you say something about a tutorial. Is it time consuming? About like kind of give us a little more on that, if you would.
Yeah, of course. So once you download the game, you'll pretty much get thrown into our tutorial. We have a very cool cinematic that kind of like sets the universe up for you a little bit. Set up this tutorial battle between one of our main characters, Catherine, one of the leaders of the Marcolian faction, which is a group of humanity that like kind of lives on Mars, and they evolved there. And it's her against one of these space pirates named Marlowe, and you get thrown right into the tutorial. It teaches you the core mechanics of our game. It's a very, very quick tutorial, first time user experience to just get you started, understand the key mechanics, which in our game is like banking, the different card types, how to attack, how to block or defend, things like that. And then from there, you get put into a new experience that we launched recently called Quick Play. With Quick Play, you get put into matches against AI at first, and we will steadily give you new starter decks to play with that feature new archetypes, different heroes. They're called paragons in our game. So there's parallels, which are the different factions. We have 5 of them, but we also have paragons. So each of those parallels can play up to 3. Choose from amongst one of 3 paragons that change like how the deck plays and stuff. If you played like Magic the Gathering, it's like very relatable to like Commander. So as you play through Quick Play, you will be able to unlock new paragons, unlock new cards, and we'll gradually, get you from a player that's playing against AI comfortable enough that we'll start, getting you against players and stuted like that. We wanted to ease the onboarding so that like you didn't feel like you went in, you started playing, and then you immediately hit like the best ranked player in the game and you get stopped. Like we don't want that. We want players to gradually, find some excitement with the game, try out cards, see what it feels like, try some fun combos and stuff like that. So the Quick Play experience is how you get there. And as you play Quick Play, like I said, you unlock the starter decks. You also unlock different parts of our menu and like different game modes, ultimately until you get like to the ranked queue where you can like really get sweaty if you want to and like start playing ranked matches and things like
that. Yeah, that's like I like the fact of that you said there's like parallels, right, which are basically like guilds, and it makes me think of like the Boros and Gruul from Magic the Gathering, which is I was a huge Magic, well still I am. I don't follow it as much, but definitely play Commander, which was what talking on Monday with one of your colleagues. It's super exciting to play, and I like the little differences. And we had someone in the audience ask if can you play a battle to see how it works. We do actually plan on doing one here shortly, after this kind of like intro, like a little discussion section or segment. We will be hopping in. Silva and I will be going against each other. Mookah was kind enough to hook us up with some deck codes in the test server. So we're going to be doing some of the newer decks, and we tested around with them. Silva and I each picked the one we liked best. And you guys get to see Silva beat me here shortly.
that. Dang, you're already setting yourself up to fail. So you look good either way. You either lose and you're like,
Yep.
I expect this out, or you win and it's an upset. I like the strategy, setting
Yep.
expectations already.
Oh man. And Mookah,
I did
just
want to
key in.
jump on. Oh,
Yep.
sorry. I just wanted to quickly add because you like Magic.
Mhm.
Our current game director for the TCG is a Wizard of the Coast veteran, Andrew Veen.
What?
The
Wow.
dude
Let's
is
go.
a beast. He worked with Wizard of the Coast for I think 10 plus years, if I don't misquote me, but he was there for a while. So to have someone like him, this Deception expansion is kind of like his baby. He made it before I came onto the team, and I helped refine it. I helped do some play testing and stuff, but this is like his gift to the parallel community. So I'm very, very excited to see it because the dude's like a master at this kind of stuff. And I think this new set is going to be great for new players. And it also elevates the game for older players. It has a bunch of new stuff that we haven't had before. So I just wanted to give him a shout out because you mentioned Magic. The dude is a beast.
Speaks volumes. Man, and that just makes me even more bullish on Parallel. Silva, what were you gonna say? Sorry about that.
Oh no, all good, fellas. I was just gonna say, keying in on something Mookah mentioned there, that you know the whole onboarding experience, right? You've got like some beautiful cinematic trailers. You've got some nice like step by step tutorials and guides in game. You know, we were going over this a bit earlier, but I played literally the day one versions of Parallel many moons ago. It feels like, and so getting back into it now after that, I could see, a definitive like upgrade and change, right? Like it seemed a lot smoother. It was a lot clearer, right? And I think a lot of that just, goes to show Mookah what you're speaking to, in that the parallel team, you guys, you're never resting on your laurels. Nothing's ever really a finished product, right? And there's always ways to iterate and improve. And so just from my own personal experience, I do love kind of being a day one user and now coming back after some time off to see what's changed, what's improved. So yeah, that's all really great to see, just the strides you guys are making as a team. And like, Carp just said there, the fact that you guys have veterans from literally the biggest like competitive TCG on the planet helping you guys build out this game and everything. It's super impressive and just speaks to like how seriously you guys take this. And, we've all been in Web3, we've all been around projects of varying caliber, and I think it's pretty easy to see that Parallel is just it's on a different playing field from your typical Web3 project, so to speak.
I mean, I really appreciate that, but like, don't get me wrong. I said this to you guys before we even went live that like, yes, the parallel team has made improvements, but we're not perfect. There's been mistakes here and there. We've been around for a while, and like, there's been a ton of improvements to our client, which I'm very, very proud of. Like, I can't. There's so many. It's like immeasurable the amount of improvements we made, but we're still a ways to go from where we're truly even happy with the product. Like if you ask me, like there's still a laundry list of things we have to get done to catch up to like what I would call even like the bar for this type of like game, right? There's a lot of fierce competition out there in this field, like outside of Web3 or even within Web3, right? So I do appreciate it, but we're not taking it for granted. There's still a lot to get done, and we're hungry to try and get as much of it done, in the shortest amount of time possible. We want this game to meet the quality benchmark. We want it to be fun. We want it to be exciting. We want people to enjoy playing our game.
Yeah, man, very well said.
So do you guys want to kind of get in? We can keep doing the Q&A stuff and discussion, but kind of get into the gameplay, and we can talk more. And we don't have to just talk about gameplay during it, but for the viewers, so they can kind of see some of the stuff, and then maybe even bring some questions up themselves. I do want to talk why we, if you guys are cool with that, I'll wait and let you answer before I continue. Is that good with you,
Yeah.
Mookah?
Yeah.
All right,
I'm more
awesome.
than down.
Yeah, that sounds great, man. Let's do it.
Let's go. Silva and I we're pulling that up. And what we'll do is I'll share my screen. We'll do a like private match thing. And but so why we are pulling this up, Mookah. So we kind of talked before about some like pain points or like what would you say are or hold on, how do I want to word this? Dang it. Yeah. So like with the onboarding, what are the things like the most friction with onboarding for new
Yeah, for
users?
sure. Yeah, I think honestly, one, we're a trading card game. So like people just jump in and play our game. Like trading card games aren't for everyone. I'll say that first. But on top of that, our game is a very competitive trading card game. It like some of the top Hearthstone players in the world play our game, and even for them, there's like this is one of the more difficult card games that they've ever played. There's a lot of like very impactful decisions we ask you to make from literally the start of the game, which is like our mechanic banking, right? We ask you like, hey, we don't give you land like Magic the Gathering. We don't give you mana out the gate like Hearthstone. We ask you to take a card from your hand and put it into what we call the bank and get energy. So you're immediately giving up a card when you start the game, which is like a decision that is not, you know, super easy for someone that's new to the game that's seen cards for the first time to be like, hey, give one up now and do that. So I think like it's both like an exciting mechanic. It's like one that drove me to like get more invested in the game when I was a player. But at the same time, I'll recognize that like it is a very complex decision, and it's something we think about when we're like bringing new players in. Like how can we evolve the game to make that process better, and like can we make cards that make that process better? On top of that, like we have paragons, which are like I said, commanders like from Magic the Gathering, and the thing is, our commanders have passive abilities that totally change the state of like your game. So like one Paragon for Markolian will have one play style, and then another one will have a totally different play style. So like that passive ability is very, very influential. And on top of that, you can still play them like you can commanders in Magic the Gathering. So I think our strongest points are also not our weakest points, but like they're the points that cause like, you know, some friction for a new user to understand like the complexity of it and things like that. And but they also are very exciting. Like that's part of our identity. Like banking and paragons are very, very influential in our game's identity. So we're not like looking to move away from that, rather embrace it and bring players to a level of understanding with those mechanics that just is like more intuitive, more fun, and they kind of want to explore the complexity rather than being thrown in their face and they're scared of it and like run away. Does that make sense?
Because that's one thing that like the banking was something that I kind of had to get used to, right? And it's like one thing where at first I wasn't sure like if you when you banked it, if it was like so like no matter what the mana cost is, or like, you know, or not mana cost, whatever the energy cost is, um, whether it's 4, whether it's 6, whether it's 1, it counts as 1 energy, right?
Correct.
Per bank. And then like it restores every like so after you use it, it restores the next turn. And then
Yeah.
just kind of like doubles up on top of that, which is something that I think is super unique. And I actually like that, right? Because I feel like a lot like even though Pokemon uses like quote unquote energy, it's still played like a land in Magic, right? Because you have to play it, and like tap it or like whatever, like or not really, yeah, kind of tap it or put it on them, right? And so then once you, um, you know, this one you're not. It's like kind of different. And isn't Deception so prior to Deception? Like, is once you bank those cards, are they like you can't use them?
Well, we had some cards even before Deception that kind of like leveraged using the bank. We had cards that like activated abilities if you revealed cards in your bank. We had cards that like let you, you know, play revealed cards in your bank. So there was some like synergy there with like revealing your opponent's card, revealing your cards, and like activating abilities and that kind of stuff. With
Mm.
Deception, we've added a brand new mechanic called Withdraw, which we're very, very excited about. It'll probably be a mechanic that maybe exists throughout like the game's like whole life cycle, like forever. It basically is an additional cost to play the card from your bank. So let's say a card is a 3 cost effect, but it has withdraw 5. That means if it's in your bank, you can play it from your bank for 5 energy instead of like 3 from your hand. But it also makes every card that you bank like now suddenly a live card if it has withdraw, right? You can surprise your opponent and be like, boom, this is a card from my bank. Were you ready for this? You know, kind of that explosiveness and unpredictability of like what to expect is very, very exciting, and it's probably one of like my favorite mechanics that we've ever released.
it reminds me of kind of like Dredge.
Yes. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
sense, from Magic the Gathering. For those who don't know, in Magic the Gathering, it is similar to what Mookah is talking about. It's so like you can interact with your graveyard at the Magic graveyard. And then real quick, Mookah on. So I went to private, or I went to play private and then host, and I gave Silva my code. Once he enters that code,
Yeah. You guys
is there
should
anything else
match
we have to
against each
do?
other. No. You
Okay.
should. It should just take like a little. Not too long. But you shouldn't be waiting minutes. But it'll take a second to set up the server, and you guys should hop in.
Yeah, I was
There
waiting
we go,
about
match.
2 minutes. Okay, I backed out and retried it again. Looks like now we're cooking, Carp.
Yep, there we go. All right, now I'll share that screen.
Let's go.
Perfect. Window, boom, share, and it should put us into. Let me get
There we
to
go.
screen. Oh, hold on. Add to screen. There we go. Boom.
Yeah,
All right.
so just some like disclaimers here. This is our public test server. I'm like super, super happy that we have this, by the way. This is not something that we always had, but this is a separate environment where we can test new game modes, new features, new balance, and the community can try things with us and give us feedback. So now we don't have to worry about putting something into the game and like risk breaking it. You know what I mean? We can like actually try things out and see what the community thinks and then decide if we want to put it in our game or not. So what's on this public test server right now that's different than the live game is obviously, for one, Deception, which is the new expansion. So these both of you guys are playing with the Deception creator deck. So these are decks that if you started our game for the first time, you've played the tutorial, and I forgot if there's any other metrics that you need to complete, but you can then go to one of our web pages that lets you claim a creator deck, and you get a whole deck of 40 cards for free just to start playing with. And in addition to that, we also have the new playing field. So this is something we're actively testing right now. Our current game field on live doesn't look like this, but we put this out here and we're currently testing it to see what's up. What can we do? Oh no, wait, hold up! You're gonna kill your own unit.
No, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. You can click on the Paragon right there, or on the health.
Paragon.
You see the
Oh,
30?
help.
Click on their 30 health. No, you're good.
Oh, mine.
It's
Oh, there's.
unfortunate. It went
Oh,
random.
I just killed my
Yeah,
guy.
if you
Dang it.
click on
Oh,
their health,
no.
and then you can do that. But like, this is the new play field. So like, there are a few graphical things just to address, like with like the energy and seeing your opponent's energy that might be a little buggy, but the whole functionality is there. You guys have tested it and stuff like that. But we really wanted to showcase these Deception cards, which is why you guys are on here. And you can see like the new play field and things like that. But those are the changes that are on here right now. So anybody that's watching this, the game doesn't currently look like this on the play field. This is more of like a, testing a new feature for us, which again is amazing that we can even do this. But that's kind of what's going on here. And then we have two Paragons. Carpenter, you're playing Lemieux, which is of the Markolian parallel. These guys are the more aggro style. So if you like to play a bunch of units in the beginning that like chip away and then you finish off with burn, yep, you selected it and you hit confirm. There you go. This is your type of deck. Whereas Silva is playing Shroud. He's playing the Brand Paragon. And what happens with Shroud is they're a lot more control-y, like tempo. They have a mechanic called Banish, which removes something to the Singularity, which is like that big purple void that's on the field right now. And like that's a special zone that only they can access. I'm yapping a ton, but there's a lot to explain here. That's just a prompt to let you know that, hey, you have a card. Do you want to play it? You don't have to. It costs 0. But if you want to, you can. We have some of those in there to just make the gameplay a little bit easier for you guys.
No, man,
Yeah,
I
that's one thing.
appreciate that.
It saved me.
Yeah, please, Mookah, don't feel like you need to apologize for any amount of speaking here, because I need just about any and all help that we can get if I'm gonna not murk my own units and end up attacking
like
myself.
I did.
Yeah. No, so this is like, these are things that, like I said, it's like kind of cliche, but like job's not done, right? So some of this first time experience are things like that. So like some of our cards, even like the Gunslinger, that's like a staple. We give everybody Mercenary Gunslingers, right? Simple changes like not letting you target your own stuff is stuff that's coming, right? So we went to we went to Gamescom in Germany, and we got a bunch of people to play our game and take feedback and like working towards making the the first time user experience better, which is something we're always aiming for. So even like seeing you guys do that now, while it is like funny and stuff like that, like I'm very happy that like you did that, because that only reinforces like, hey, us changing that is probably a good idea.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is that one I like. Like there's certain cards like I like these ones reminds me of like just the cards that have the effect to do damage. Like when they on and like the pump. There's the what's her name? Catherine. I really like Catherine too.
Catherine is a very strong Paragon. Yep. The
It's the
Gunslinger
pump.
is synergized really well with that relic in your hand, which you could play too.
Was
You
it
have enough
relic?
energy for. Yeah, the
Oh, wait.
Logistics Mastery. So you drop that into the relic zone, and what this does is anytime you deal like non-combat damage, it will increase that by 2. If you want to view the card, you can click into the relic pile with the left click, I believe, and then you can see the card there. You can right click it to inspect it and see it in a much nicer view. There you go. So the non-combat damage you deal is increased by 2, and then you can activate, which basically lets you activate certain cards have activate abilities, and then you can pay the cost, which is energy, and it'll add like a special card to your deck that how do you X out of it?
Oh, there we
you
go.
can just click around it, or there's an X screen.
Attack or here we'll end.
Yep.
Oh, so there was a question we had. So like a defender card, right? So like in Magic, a defender can't attack. Can they attack here or no? Or like they the only
they
ones that can defend?
Yeah. So like
so
combat in our game is like very fluid. Any unit can attack, and when defenders are not like how they are in like Hearthstone, like with taunt or something like that, in our game, if a unit is attacked, that any defender can choose to intervene that attack. So like if you attack me and you're attacking me directly, or you're attacking my opponent, you declare who you want to attack, one unit at a time, and then the other player gets to decide like, oh, I want to defend against that or not. Man, Silva's going off. So what he just did is he attached an upgrade onto it, so you can like put your mouse over the one upgrade, and you should be on the top right, or it says one upgrade there. No, you just head over the Paragon. But if you can right click on it, it'll make it easier. Just right click on it.
There we go.
And then on the left, on the bottom, upgrades. There you go. You can see Trusty Belt. So that gives him one attack. And basically, if he attacks a unit and his unit survives, he can attack with it again. And Void Trapper is really strong because when it attacks a unit, it adds a corrupted version to your hand. And if you attack the opponent directly, if there's any units in their hand, you get a corrupted version of it. And that way you can like just keep playing units. Corrupted is just like a subtype in our game. Like I said, man, Parallel gets pretty complex. There's a lot to do. There's a lot that you can leverage to like outwit your opponent. So this is some of the complexity that like players, we hope, get really, really intrigued with and like try to master. But at the same time, it can be daunting if you're not like used to this kind of gameplay. The Black Market Connections, actually, I would suggest you play it. It's really good.
Play it.
You can play it right now, right?
Okay. Oh, it can't be banned or any of that. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Mookah,
So
I thought you and I talked about it. You were only supposed to help me right now. What the hell, bro?
Listen. I gotta help him out. So you can bank that fleet support. Hell yeah, that'll give you 1 extra energy. And now the Gunslinger, you drop it. Yep. Instead of dealing 1 damage, it's going to deal 3 damage. So I would suggest you pick a unit instead.
Oh, this
try to take out a unit.
Oh wait, this one. Because it has the upgrade that does that combo, right?
Yeah. Yep. You can hit confirm, and it'll deal 3 damage because you got that that Logistics Mastery. And now it's letting our game is very like back and forth. So now Silva, it's letting him decide, hey, you want to activate this ability of this Trusty Belt now that it died. So that level of complexity is just something that we love. And it's gonna create like moments of that, like oh no kind of thing. And like, but we love that. We embrace it. We want players to feel like, oh man, I didn't do that just quite right. I'm gonna play again, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I know when I was testing around and stuff, I was like, oh, I told my wife, I'm gonna hop on for like a match or two, and the next thing you know, it's like 5 matches later. Like clearly I need more practice still.
There's layers to this. I swear, I'm telling you, man. It's a lot of fun. But like you said, that that first time experience, man, it's both our strength and not our weakness, but like it's something that we're trying to get players more. That's why we have new modes like quick play. That's why we're always trying to improve our tutorial. We want players to like fall in love with the curiosity of like what does it mean to like actually make a good deck and excel in this game, and then just like mess around and play with your friends. Like I hope after a game like this and after the stream's done, you message Silva again, Carpenter, and you're like, listen, I didn't need Mookah's help. Play me again. I'll show you.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I love it. So Mookah, real quick here, as you know, it feels like we're kind of in the middle of this match. You know, things are heating up here. You were saying the Markolian, seems like their archetype is mostly kind of that, getting quick, low cost units onto the field, like kind of ramping every turn as you get more banked energy. Is that kind of always a consistent theme where regardless of the, Markolian parallel, regardless of the parallel, regardless of the Paragon, the parallel tries to stay pretty consistent with, those mechanics or those, kind of just gameplay elements?
Yes and no to an extent. Like we don't have like color mixing, so you can't like mix like a Markolian deck with a Shroud deck or something like that at the moment. But like, so they do retain a lot of their identity for sure. But there are slight variations. Like Lemieux is more revolves around like this kind of like cheap board that you can buff. He comes out with a unit automatically. He really leverages this keyword called assault. So like when your unit has dealt damage to the enemy player directly, you can activate what's called an assault ability. And Lemieux specializes in that. But we also have another Markolian Paragon called Armored Division Headquarters. And like the deck looks almost like pretty different. It's the same kind of style, but it lets you really push with vehicle cards. It buffs a bunch of vehicles and things like that. So it's a little bit different there. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was kind of getting at, can I make a 5-color deck a la Magic just
not
to be
yet
annoying?
Not yet. I say yet because like you never know what happens with the future. I do think that would be a crazy good evolution for us to try, like different colors and putting them together and seeing what happens. But for now, the complexity is in the Paragon choices, and like they do drastically kind of change the builds depending on what you play, even if they're playing the same cards. Even I see a question about Mac. We don't currently have a Mac client. You can play on iOS if you come to the Parallel Discord and ask. We're letting people try our like kind of test builds of iOS, so you could come in there and ask like, hey, I want to play on iOS and stuff like that. But for now, it's mostly Windows, but we do have iOS for mobile, not on Mac though. We apologize for that. I want to see one of you guys play your Paragon, so I'm gonna ask Carpenter to do it next turn.
Yep.
Just
Yes,
to
I
show
didn't
you.
play. I didn't play. How do I get this thing off of there? Like this thing over.
So
here.
he's activating his effect right now. So
that's
he's
what it was.
deciding what to do. That right thing is like the stack. If you play Magic, I'm sure you're familiar with like the stack.
Got it.
So that's like letting you know, like, hey, this effect is happening right now.
So is there, like, speaking of the stack, is there instance like in this game? Are they all like?
We have some like relics that let you respond, and some unit effects that let you respond, and like I said, defenders kind of like let you respond kind of thing. But as of right now, there's no explicit like this card's in my hand, I can play this. So that's you playing your Paragon. So the Paragons have passives, but they also have a bunch of stuff. So Lemieux, you can
Like
choose
one.
amongst 3 different things. If you had activated the assault ability, you can do all 3 of them. So yeah, you can choose one from here. You got to pick.
Is that when I attack?
What is assault?
If I would attack.
Assault is when you deal damage to the opponent player first. Then when you activate an assault, it'll do the thing.
Dang it! I got too happy.
All good. Yeah. So right now, if you look on the top left, it says waiting for opponent. Basically, Silva was deciding if he wanted to defend or not, because he had a defender. He had a Sacred Siphoner right there. Which has Defender on it. It doesn't have the animation on it right now because this is the the public test server, so there's like a few little bugs in there with like the visuals. But we really wanted you guys to try the deception stuff, so that's why we put it in there. But like I said, that's the beauty of having a testing environment, because if it's not perfect, then we can fix it before it goes live, right? That's why we have this kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And I will say, like, from playing on the regular one and this one, it's not. I like the energy being bigger and like the way it's showcased here.
Yeah, because in the
Compared
normal
to-
game or the live version of the game, it's horizontal, right? The energy
Yep.
bar. Yep,
And
yep,
it's smaller.
100%. Yep, yep.
It's smaller, right?
Yeah, it is smaller. We made it bigger and stuff like that. We made the cards in your hand larger. We made the cards on the field generally a little larger, and we put the paragons in the center because they were like tucked away on the side.
Oh, yep.
But
Yeah,
I'll
they
be
do it,
honest, like I
over
said,
here.
it's not perfect yet. I think we still can make more improvements, but I'm very happy with these improvements that we had so far. I don't think you'll ever hear someone on the parallel team truly say they're happy yet. Like there's still so many things we want to do. There's still so many things we want to do.
That's bullish.
It's like a job's not done kind of thing.
Yep.
There
Man,
you go. He's got that
usually I
brand
like the red
paragon
deck
out.
wins thing, but he's putting out big dudes.
Well, you've entered his domain now. He's
I
he's
have.
punching.
He is. My little one bangers aren't doing much at
Not
all.
too much right now. Not too much.
I might not make it to next turn.
I don't
I don't
know.
think I'm-
He's leaving you at
Oh,
2.
am I gonna?
He's giving you 1. He's giving you a sliver of hope.
Just to humiliate myself. How can I do 15 damage?
Oh man. Unfortunately, not with this hand, but there are
No,
some
I
hands where you
cannot.
can in some decks. We have a good variety of like the different parallels and the types
these
of
aren't
decks
the
you
right
play.
ones, dang it.
For example, I like to play Iraq, which is Core, which is one of our other parallels, and that's super combo heavy. The reason why you can't play that card right now is because it's corrupted. So when you play a corrupted card, it takes your life away, and that costs 1, and you
Oh.
only have 1 health. So the game's
Oh,
like,
was that
hey,
villain corrupted too? Oh, that was corrupted too.
yeah, it's because he
No.
has that card, that 4-cost card with the dude
Oh,
with his hand
yeah.
out, Solace. Every time you draw a unit, he's corrupting it. So you're losing life when
you
you play
turd.
units. So so he's
don't
not
like
letting you
that
have
guy.
fun. He's not letting you have fun. It's not this guy. The third guy.
Oh, this dude.
This guy. So at the end, whenever your opponent draws a unit, corrupt it. So we don't want you to just kill yourself by accident. So we were like, hey, you can't play this. We're not going to let you play this because it's corrupted and you're going to die.
Oh, man, that's insane.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice
'cause, like,
defender.
I can't play another card the rest of the game. I mean, I can't play a. Is there
He's got
life
you
gain
locked.
in
He's
this
got you
in
locked.
this deck?
There
Right?
is life gain, but not for the red. Not for the red. You're gonna have to play green if you want to heal a bit more.
Oh, see, yeah, I would have guessed like, yeah, because green's like rampy in Magic, so green's kind of like
Yeah,
has
it
this,
is. So
life gain.
so our green, the earthen, is kind of rampy. It's like green and white in Magic. It's rampy, but it
Okay.
also has healing. Yeah. Our shroud is more like black and blue. It's a mix of both. Our red is red. It's like pretty red. And then our blue, which is the Cathari, is more like white, but like token, like the token part of white. Just like very like swarmy, buff everything up, that kind of play style.
Dude, that's a 6. He's getting a buff of 5 on this one.
I'm telling you,
He's
bro. Like, I
styling
don't
on
know
you.
all of the paragons, but this guy just seems busted.
He's a
Like brand,
beast.
he pumps everyone's numbers.
Yeah,
he's doing work. He's doing work. Man, Silva's gonna make you stare at this board instead of ending your one life.
He
He wants
is.
to decimate
Get me
you.
out of my misery.
Yeah. There we
Oh
go.
my gosh.
GG. I wish I could say that like I knew what I was doing that entire time, but no shot. That was dumb luck.
Dude, that was.
Hey man, you gotta own it. You gotta own it. You knew what you were doing. You got the heart of the cards.
That is freaking red is red, but much more red.
Yeah, that is a great explanation. Our red Marcolian is definitely red if you're familiar with Magic, but just picture a bit more red. That's it.
Yep. And me as being a huge burn player, you can definitely see why I was drawn to this.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking and you kind of like explained it on our call earlier this week, I was like, yep, I'm definitely going with Lemieux. And well,
No,
clearly
I mean,
I
like,
made the wrong decision.
no,
in
you
the
did.
brand.
I'll be honest. Normally, Red does well, but he got the edge of you. I helped him a little bit in the beginning, right? That's what we were talking about, and maybe I led you astray. So I'll take the blame. I'll take the blame for your loss. But yeah, I mean, I think that match kind of showcases our game in the sense that like
Mhm.
there's like a lot of moving parts, right? And that is what we embrace, like the complexity of our game. We want people to like really, play the game and get curious about like the decision and fall in love with like the different combinations and like, executing a play pattern in different ways and stuff like that. And our banking, while it is tough, it's nice because like the way I look at it is like every card is a land. If you play Magic the Gathering, you don't get landlocked in our game. If you drew a
So
6 cost card, you can just bank it and then play a 1 cost card, right? So I really do enjoy that. And no, this is cool. If you want to do another one, we can, but like I know we're getting close to time, so I don't want to force you guys. But you guys are playing 2 creator decks, like I said. So if you guys are interested in playing parallel, when the Deception expansion launches next week on Tuesday, if you've already played the tutorial and stuff like that, there's going to be a link to the creator decks. Shout out to YGG. They worked with us to make 5 creator decks across all the different parallels. So you can play the tutorial and stuff like that. And then when Deception launches, you can go and claim a creator deck. And we'll literally give you 40 cards to go play. And these were play tested by some of the best players in our game. They execute a lot of the new themes across the different parallels, and they're very fun. And you can do really well with them. Like we give you like, I don't want to say like S tier decks, but definitely like A tier decks. We give you very good decks to kind of like get your feet wet, start practicing, learn the game, and win. We've had people play creator decks across different expansions and like get to very high ranks, like with us just giving free cards.
Wow.
yeah, and I wanted to touch on that too. So I know we talked about it being you don't have to like put up any money or have any assets. What is the benefit of getting, like one of the NFTs or some of the like packs, and like the difference in the two play styles, the assets, like, or the paying and not paying, basically.
For
What are the
sure.
difference in the
Yeah,
gameplay?
if you play free to play with like I don't want to say Web 2, but just like the classic way of playing a TCG, you can still buy cards and stuff like that. It's like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering. Like you buy our in-game resource, which is Glints, and then you can just like rip packs, and like that's like the standard experience. But if you want to add like the Web 3 layer on top of it, so for one, we have different classes of rarities of our cards. So they are just like flexes, like they look nice. There's better variants. We have like prime variants, which is like whole different art. Some cards have like perfect loops, which is like our version of holographic. It's like a looping video kind of like thing. It's like very, very cool. On top of that, like the higher rarities you have, and as you get more NFT cards in your deck, that scales like the modifiers on earnings. So like we give earnings based on your NFT deck count and your rarity count, and we have like certain other assets that can increase that. But if you have the NFTs, that basically kind of like enables your pathway to earning. And if you don't want to like buy at first, you want to get started. We've had people join bonds, so we have bonds in our game. Those are basically like different groups that will lend cards, and like they'll lend you a whole NFT deck, and they take like a percent cut of like your earnings at the end of a month or something like that. Based on like their different rates and stuff like that. So we've seen players like go the bond route and then steadily build their collection that way, so that they can own their own cards and things like that. So we have a couple different avenues, like the free to play. You can borrow with bonds, or you can just like buy packs and build your own deck. And the NFT cards, like I said, kind of like are the gateway to earning through different assets that like scale how much you earn, like different modifiers. But the core NFT cards themselves are like, as you get a 40 card deck, that will like you pretty much will need to get 40 to like really hit that spot. But once you hit 40, and based on your rank and different assets you have, that'll like determine how much you earn.
Okay, and that's the prime token, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Or-
That is prime. We give prime, and it's usually at the beginning of every month. So it's like we give it based on the month prior.
Okay, so
and stuff like that.
Okay, so it's that was gonna be my next question, is so it's not like like right after each match. It just kind of like just accumulates, and then the following month you'll get it, correct? For the month
we have like
prior.
an estimator that you can like determine how much you're getting. We've recently increased like our Echelon Foundation, which is the foundation that works with us. They recently increased how much Prime is being given out. So we have an estimator, and then players were kind of really happy last month because they got more than they were expecting. And we give it out based on your skill. So like if you're a master player, which is the highest rank in our game, and have an NFT deck and all that stuff, you're going to be getting more than like a gold player. We really reward players based on the skill and stuff like that. So, if you're good at card games and you want to try, the earning, there is an avenue for you there.
And so one thing being back like I had talked to you on our call and said that I was a big Magic the Gathering in the like 2010s. Like I traveled and did a bunch of like drafts and standard tournaments and stuff, and I would do a lot of research. Is there places to like on decks and new sets and stuff? Is there a place that you can find like quote unquote net decks or like the best decks that other people are playing, or kind of like basically we'll leave it at that first. Kind of like
Yeah. So we do have some community platforms. One that I like is like Parallel Stats. They do a very good job of like showcasing decks. Like basically some players have enabled their profiles that like the game can the platform can track their games like literally live. So it'll take like the best performing decks on there. It'll like do like meta analysis and charts and stuff like that. So you can get decks that way, and it's very easy to like get codes from the community there. A lot of people will send you a code, and then you'll go and post it on Parallel Stats, and you'll be able to see every card in there and what you're missing and stuff like that. So I highly recommend that. But a lot of our community is honestly on X. We have a few dedicated streamers. Shout out to them. Like in this chat right now, I see Tonda. He goes by Pandapple. He streams on Twitch. We have a few people that stream on Twitch, but a lot of our guys are on X, on Twitter, and they are more than happy to give deck codes and share that kind of stuff. But like if you wanted to just go explore yourself, Parallel Stats is definitely what I would recommend.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because I was a big like MTG Goldfish and going through and kind of like looking at so there's the like you have that world like worlds, right? And so do those decks that win, do they get published anywed? Because like I was big on
for sure
wanting to see what people played and how they won.
We have a few creators themselves that post it them they'll do meta analysis and stuff like
cool.
I think like Qflux is an avid creator. He's been writing blogs on like tournament reports, and like he'll post the deck profiles of the decks and stuff like that. So shout out to him for that. But it is like pretty community heavy. They are usually on top of like the meta and posting the codes and stuff like that. Like our last world champions was Jarla, who's like one of the best Hearthstone players the world has ever seen. Like he won Worlds last year in Vegas, and like he's getting a card in the set after Deception. That's like one that he helped design and stuff like that. So super sick. I just wanted to give him a shout out. But yeah, like you can find meta decks. Like it's not gate kept. Parallel Stats is a great place to find them, but also like if you join, just if you're like on X and you just ask or something like that, people will get you codes. Our Discord is like very good. People will help each other like find codes and stuff like that. So it's out there. Like we're very like grassroots in that kind of sense where people are sharing codes for the love of the game. Unless you're like a top tier competitor, we have some people that hide decks like that. That's super cool. I love when that happens. Where like they'll hide a deck and then show up in a tournament. Everyone's like, dude, what the heck is that deck? Because like our tournaments are like conquest, so you bring multiple decks to a tournament. And if you bring a surprise one, man, like you're either forcing a ban on a deck that someone's not prepared for, and then you get to get your other meta deck through, or they let like a deck in that they don't know how to play against, and you just win that way. It's like super creative. Like I love it.
They're kind of like those meta slayers that like people used to build back in standard and like modern. They would like if I remember during it was Ether Revolt standard, there was like a Mardu vehicles deck that was really good, and people like would just this one guy at our local GameStop built a deck that was horrible against everything else in the meta, but was built to destroy that deck. And like end up winning the game day, which is kind of like the state tournament type thing, or like
Yeah,
the
no,
local
exactly.
tournament.
We have like kind of the same things where like sometimes people will play a certain Paragon that's like terrible into one deck. So they just ban that one deck always, but it just is a meta eater. It'll just eat
Oh,
everything
yep.
else that everyone plays. And like when that happens, man, I just get a smile on my face because like
Yep.
I live for that. I live for that. That's the kind of player I am. I like to win with decks that like people don't expect or give as much credence to. It's a guilty pleasure, man, because it sometimes you eat a lot of L's that way. But as a whole, when it pays off, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be bugging Silva a lot to play. And then so like since we're both starting out play, we're just gonna play whenever he's available, and I'm just gonna like bug him. We're gonna like Silva, we gotta play, and then we're gonna like get good enough we can take on some of these other players.
Let's do
Hell
it.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear that. And then I wanna find out after your guys' practice sessions who's the top dog of you two, because I feel like there's
I
some
gotta
like
get revenge, man, because I
there's some
got
tension
wiped out.
there a little bit.
He wiped me up bad. Like I really thought like when I was doing my practice matches, I was like, man, I'm like doing good. Granted, I was playing against the computer, but like, only question: do you make your computers really easy, like your bots really easy to like?
They
make
are
people-
definitely not exactly where we want them to be. The easy mode bots are like super easy. But the other
I had a
scale
feeling.
like decently well. But that is definitely a place for improvement for us, that we're looking to improve our AI and stuff like that too. Especially if we like dive into the world of like more single player experiences, right? The AI definitely needs to meet that match. Right now, our next biggest feature actually is we're working towards draft mode. So you play MTG, you know draft. So like our draft is going to be, I don't want to give too many
Damn.
details away, but we have some fun stuff planned for that. And we're working towards it right now. So I'm very excited for that. That's going to probably be our next big like new game mode.
Need that in my life. I'm gonna pass it to Silva since I've stole the mic the last like 15 minutes.
No, not at all, man. I mean, all that is just so cool to hear. Like, I love everything that's coming with it. I think Mookah, the Deception expansion comes out on the 30th, correct?
Correct. Yep. The pack goes on live on the 30th, but at the same time that day too, it'll be live too, so you can play it after you rip your packs.
Amazing. And then these specific like creator decks that Carp and I are using right now, will those be available to the public, or if we're not playing on like the testnet version, could we be playing whether it's each other or just kind of trying to grind the leaderboards or move up in rank, that sort of thing? Could we use these same decks, or would that require something extra?
No, once you get started with the game and play through the tutorial and any of those other entry level requirements, I'm just saying that because I don't know if we require quick play. I'm not up to date on that. But once you've completed those, you can literally go to it's a separate website link, and you'll just claim your creator deck. I just asked that if you started playing Parallel like today or from this stream, you don't go claim a creator deck right now. You wait for Deception to launch when we refresh them, and you play with the new creator decks for Deception. But yeah, you'll get what we call an apparition deck, which is like the non-NFT cards, and you'll get a full 40 card deck that you can start playing with.
Amazing. Yeah. This is just being open. This Beyond the Void brand was what I was practicing with yesterday in anticipation of today's stream. So I think I'd enjoy getting to use him some more, and even if not him, some of the other ones that are clearly built with some of these new kind of mechanics and keywords in mind. Just new is fun, right?
Yes.
100%. Yeah, like we've been aiming to do Deception for a while now. I'm super excited to get it out the door. We've already like started work on the next expansion, and for people that have been playing our game for a while, we even have some other stuff like and a remaster of the old original cards, like we call that the alpha remaster. So we have a bunch of content lined up. We want to keep gameplay fresh. Following Deception, it's a big priority for us to get like content fresh and make it exciting and keep the wheels turning, right? Who said that? Miner. New is always better. I just read that and I'm like, dude, that guy, that's legit. So I'm very excited for Deception. I think it's going to spark a lot of life to our game, and we just want to keep continuing off that momentum.
Yes, yeah, I'm definitely excited, and I know that earlier that we were talking, so I don't think we got to touch on it. There's someone asked, what's the average cost of an S tier deck? And then
Oh yeah,
Tonto kind of answered. Is that about right? About 200 to 300 USD? That doesn't seem too
I
bad
believe that's
for
about
especially an
right
S tier.
now. Yeah, that's
Um,
not too bad right now. If you got everything like first edition, which is like the base level class rarity, I'd say that's correct. Usually like the legendary cards are a bit pricier or any like crazy staples, but you could get a deck for about that. Don't quote me on it, but like it's not my problem is I'm a rarity maxi, so like I overpay for like the nice and shiny stuff. Like my deck is almost all
me.
blinged out.
Yeah, that's me. Like I still to this day have a modern, which I need to put the new stuff from the newer sets in, but I have a red deck wins, aka like red, like just burn. That's all full arted. Like I have, and then like I'll change out. Like I have multiple play sets of. I think I have every play set except for the alphas. I have a set of beta lightning bolts, but not the alpha. Those are so dang
That's
expensive.
sick. That's sick.
But yeah, that's my favorite card. So yeah, I will be the same way the more I get into the game.
Yeah,
And then
we
would you
literally have
say
some
that? Or go ahead.
cards.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, I was gonna say we literally have some cards that are like only 4 copies of that specific variant that I hunted down like old owners, and I was like, please let me buy this from you, and I got it. So I'm like super. I dig for them. I'm super hyped.
So like, they only come out like during. So like, those will only ever be 4 of those ones because of the pack run, or how does that work?
So like our cards like once the pack drops, like that's like the set quantity. So we
Okay.
have like as you get rare variants, it gets less and less for sure. And especially if it's like a legendary card versus like a rare card versus like a common, there'll be like I'm describing rarities in class because rarities are what people are familiar with: common, uncommon, rare, legendary. But then we also have like classes, so like first edition, special edition, perfect loop, prime variant, autograph. Like these are all like higher, like visually appealing versions of the cards, but also like if they're in your NFT deck, have more modifiers for earning and stuff like that. So man, where was I going with this? I got
They're
lost
kind of
in
like
the sauce, but
minting.
like
Yeah,
yeah.
or not
So like
minting,
yeah,
but yeah,
so the quantity is going to be set for sure. Like with Deception, we've actually reduced the quantity of like of a lot of our first edition cards to make them a bit more rare. But like once they're in the set, like that's the set amount. We do have a mechanic called echoes. So like if you are a new player and you don't want to buy all the cards, there's a way for players to replicate their cards. You pay Prime and you get an echo version of the card, which is like the base version of that card. But it lets the players be kind of like the factories if we ever like fully sell out of cards and players want new cards. It gives them the power to like sell these echo variants to like new players and things like that. So that is an option to get cards like that, and like that is like the base rarity. It's kind of like the gateway version of the card, if that makes sense. Those can be unlimited supply, but they're also like lowest tier for earning and things like that, if that makes sense.
And so what would you say is the best way for like a new player that wants to get a like start accumulating for like an NFT deck, because that's what I'll be doing. Because that's just the type of person I am. Like if I'm gonna play, I might as well
Yeah.
just do the Web3 version. Like would you say to like try and just like ape as many packs as I can on Mint, which plug the which I'm actually plugging for like yeah, it's the 30th
The
at
deception drop.
you guys.
Yeah.
Yep, deception drop on 30th. Have you ironed down a time? Because I want to
I
make sure
don't
I'm
think
there
so
like
yet.
10
I
minutes
don't know it
early.
exactly. I don't know it exactly. But like I would I would get started playing parallel this week. I would play with the starter decks. I'd play with the parallels. I would find out what style I like. The community is super active, so if you want to talk to them about like the meta, what people think about deception, what cards are going to be good, like start there. Like start free this week. Just see what's going on. Don't claim your creator deck yet, but just like get started. And then from there, you can like map out what deception cards you want. And if you want to buy a few packs, like by all means, buy a few packs. And like that pack opening experience is like one of the best parts of our thing. The NFT backdrop experience is euphoric. Like we have like very cool animations, and the way you open your cards is very cool. Like I absolutely love it. and I would recommend you at least buy a few packs just to see what it's like. But like, have an idea in mind of like what you want to play, right? And work your way that way is probably my best bet. I don't want to tell you to mint a bajillion packs and have no idea what's going on because it gets overwhelming too, right? So start playing, see what kind of style you like, map out some cards you want, and definitely buy some packs. You'll feel better about what cards you want. Like AI Rep just said it right there. Practice is done, you'll get a better feel of the approach you want to take, and you'll be able to understand. Like there's players like, I mean, I work on the team, but I call myself a player too. Like I'm buying a ton of packs and I already know what I want. I already know what cards I want to trade with other people. I know what cards I'm going to be looking for on secondary. I know what variants I want, things like that. Like that comes with like just experience. There's a ton of fun in buying packs. Like even if you opened a pack, you'll know like, oh man, I hit something good and I can trade it and stuff like that. But obviously there's more love in it when you know what's going on, you know what the cards do and things like that. Of course, right? Like that's just how it
Yep.
goes. So I recommend you take this week and just like dip your toes a little bit, see what kind of style you like. If you like Markolian and stuff, we have some cool stuff with Markolian in the next expansion. So like,
Let's
you
go.
know, I'm always a resource too. The community is a resource. So like for anybody that's in the stream, I usually will reply to DMs. So if you want to ask questions, you can do that. You come in our Discord, ask, or you can ask on X. People will reply on there for sure.
And speaking of packs, I completely forgot. You guys were super gracious and gave 5 packs for to give away on stream. I completely forgot about that. So anyone that, if you're on the stream, go ahead and comment underneath that, and then we'll look at the timestamps and stuff. Go ahead and comment if you haven't commented already. I will get with some of the fantasy team, and we'll kind of figure out the best way to do that, whether it's a wheel or Twitter picker or whatever. We'll post how we do it as well. I'll get with 710. Silva and I will kind of figure out how in 710, and then we'll get with you as well, Mookah, and the rest of your team, and kind of do that as well. But we really appreciate that, and I completely almost forgot it until we were talking about packs.
Right.
No, I mean, thank you for remembering. Yeah, we just want people to like enjoy, the new set and stuff like that. So we want to try to give away as much as possible. And if you actually played Parallel before, I think it was Silva that you said you might have some stuff. You might get some
Yeah.
free packs because we are giving free
Oh.
packs to like based on certain criteria. So you might just get some free deception packs.
Ooh, that would be sick. I do have a wallet full of cards collecting dust. So if I could break those out with some new packs, that would be very nice.
For sure.
Yeah, I can already see the Parallel community is going to be super welcoming. We've got some of the Parallel community reaching in saying, just ask in the Discord if you get any questions, and they're happy to help. So super. I'm definitely going to be just going out. I'll definitely be in that Discord. So
yeah, man. Honestly, we're a bunch of nerds. We like the game. We like the cards. We want people to also like the cards and play the game. Like, once you're ready to talk shop, Carpenter and Silver, like, dude, it's a well of information, man. I got a whole bunch. I'll tell you,
Heck
look
yeah.
at this Paragon, look at this deck and stuff like that. It's just the game. I like the game, man. The game's a lot of fun, and that's why I'm so happy to work here and like help improve the product. We just want more people to enjoy it.
Absolutely. And there's nothing better than working with a team and a project that you like were and still are so, entrenched in. Like you said, you were a player. That's kind of like Silva and I with Fantasy Top. Before we were on the team, we were, creating content for a year, and it just makes it like literally it's something completely different working with a team that you are, just absolutely love the product they are making. And
yeah, man, I couldn't be happy.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Ask me a question.
So I was sitting here looking at this, and my brain is doing what it did whenever like a new draft set comes out in Magic, where like I'm all over the place, and I just like if I were to draft like without researching, like I'm just grab everything and I end up with like shambles until I do my research. Since you're a well of information, I'm going to do a little research now with you here. So I know about Lemieux. I know about Catherine. Other than those two, or maybe it's just those two, who are the like the super aggro-y paragons, and then who's the best?
Okay. Well, like with Deception, I can't tell you what the best will be because I don't know either. We did a lot of play testing with it with like very, very experienced players, but I can't confidently tell you what's going to be the best for Deception. Like I really believe like someone's going to figure out a meta, and then next week someone's going to be like break that meta, right? You know what I mean? But as of right now, our game is like very, very tempo heavy. So like if you like Catherine, Catherine's very good. If you like to like spam and burn, that's Catherine. Lemieux is a bit more like mid-rangey, and same thing with Armor Division. Those are the other Marpolians one. They have burn. They do rely on burn, but it's not as aggro as Catherine. Scipius is Cathari, so that's like white token swarm if you play Magic. They are very, very good. That one's on the bottom left. It's the blue guy. Yeah. So like they spam a bunch of clones, and those clones all buff each other and stuff like that. Scipius is very good. I feel like those are like more your style. And then I'll just jump to Silva too. If you liked Brand, you'll like some of these like control. Brand is like control, but there's still some like tempo mid range to it. So like maybe like Nehemiah, if you like green from Magic the Gathering, it's like more around like defenders and stuff like that. I think Gafar is going to be really good in Deception. That is like they have some control because they like pacify units, which is like in Magic, it's like you just tap them. He's the dude that's like smoking the pipe next to Nehemiah. Yeah, that guy. That's Gafar. And he has some cool cards where like he uses this one card called Hasty Mobilization, which just spams big units. If you like, it's like a very like hit or miss card, but it's so fun when it hits. Those might be the kind of decks that I feel like are your vibe based on what I saw, Silva. But like, I really can't tell you what's going to be meta in Deception. I have ideas on what I think will be good, but I know it's going to be wrong. So I don't want to steer you in the in the incorrect. It's foolish to say as someone who's been working on a set to be like, I know it's going to be meta. The players are really what's going to decide what's going to be good. And there's only like, tens of us versus like, thousands of players, right? It's foolish to say that we figured it all out. Somebody's going to come out and do something that's super crazy. And then us as designers will be like, how did we let this through? Oh my God, we have to balance this later. So that's usually how it goes. I mean, you can try to be as perfect as you want, but the players are the real masters, right? They figure it out. So I'm just excited to see the magic of it. When one of our last expansions, I remember like, this is not me gloating or anything, but I remember like me and a friend came up with one version of a deck that we're like, hey, we think this is the best deck. And everyone was like, no, dude, you're wrong. What are you talking about? This is when I was a player. And then like 2 weeks later, everyone's playing the deck that we were playing. It's not that we discovered the meta, but it's just like no one really knows on day one, week 2. But like that's the beauty of card games, man. That's the most fun time to jump in when like no one really knows what's going to be the best.
Yeah, that's why I'm definitely gonna dive in because I feel like that's like Silva and I's best chance to like kind of come in on an even playing field is like if we can get the mechanics down and stuff, right?
When everyone is just as confused as we are, that's our only hope.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, you got to respect the strategy. You just got to push forward and just like dominate, just sneak in there a little bit, get some good ranks, and it'll be like you were there always.
And so about those ranks real quick. I know we're a little over time, so and I'm sorry about that. I just you've got me definitely going on the nerd, tapped into my nerdness. So about the ranks, okay, is it just like kind of like Magic ranks? So like you just do a rank match and then you kind of like just get XP per as long as you win, and then you lose XP if you lose, and kind of like that route.
Yeah. You lose like a MMR if you like win or lose. It goes from like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and master, and they all are like subdivided by 5. So there's like diamond 1 to 5, platinum 1 to 5, and things like that. So there's some segmentation there.
That's what I always liked about Magic Arena is the fact that like because I played way back before there was even Magic Arena. There was MTGO was like a huge deal when it came out, and so like I really liked that. But like Arena was even better because you had that, right? You could sit there and see how you did in standard, see how you did, or I mean in constructed. They didn't really do it for standard, but constructed, and then limited or draft, right? Which obviously I always did better in draft than I did. I didn't really do a lot of constructed on there. I just bought gems, like hundreds and hundreds of dollars of gems instead of draft. But yeah, man, that's why again I'm really excited for draft. Because like I feel like draft's a really good way to learn cards too. I think
100%.
it's
That's why we want to do it. Like, we want a player, like, it can be daunting for people to play TCGs and just like jump in and like be given. We gave you guys both a 40 card deck. Like, it's a lot to kind of just throw that in your face, right? So, with draft mode, what's nice is that you can like slowly read each card, decide which one you want to pick, get an understanding of like what each card does, what its relevance is, and then just see it happily play in real time and be like, I picked this for this reason. Is it really doing what I want it to do? And you can learn cards that way too. And you can build your collection that way too. So we think it's a no-brainer to do that game mode.
definitely excited for it. Heck yeah. Is there any other questions you have, Silva? For
Uh,
Mookah?
Not off the top of my head, really. I mean, he's done just a great job explaining everything as we've gone. I'm pumped and excited for next week, and definitely gonna tune in on Mint Day and see if I have any free packs, and if not, definitely mint. Even just one or two of the paid packs. For the culture here and to support the parallel team. So looking forward to next week, man, and excited, and wishing you and the entire team good luck. This has been a ton of fun, and I really enjoy. I mean, like Carp said, right? We've been in the trenches of TCGs for, I mean, honestly, collectively decades between the three of us, it sounds like. So this is just good old fashioned, playing some card games and having some fun. So really glad we got to bring this to the Fantasy Top community, the Parallel community, and yeah, look forward to hopefully being able to work together, into the future for a long time to come.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for having me. It was an absolute pleasure. I had a ton of fun. It was definitely fun to see you guys like try out the game and mess around with the cards. And you can tell by the questions that you guys kind of knew what's going on with TCGs, which I love. I love when I get to talk to other like TCG nerds. So I had a blast. Again, if you guys are just starting out, you can play Parallel free to play. You can start the tutorial, play our quick play, get used to the game. Don't use your creator deck code claims yet. Please wait for Deception next week and claim your creator decks that way. Just spend this week learning the game a little bit, and then you can find out what your playstyle is and buy a few packs. I'm sure there's going to be a few pack opening streams, so you guys can watch that. That's like one of my favorite parts. So I told two groups like, listen, you got to decide if you're streaming or not because I'm trying to rip packs. So you'll see me on stream ripping packs if you want to see that. And I'm just very excited for Deception. Deception is probably our most I'm not just because I helped work on it, but I think I'm very excited just because I think it's going to be the best expansion that we've ever dropped so far as a studio. We put a lot of time and effort into this, and we really want the community to have fun with this, and we want new players to experiment and have fun with this. So, if you're interested, join the Discord, download the game, play for fun, try it out, and just come hang out. And we're a bunch of nerds that like cards, and we want other people to like the cards too.
Rev just said he'll be doing a stream with Icy. Icy's a goat in the Web3 gaming.
Yeah, he's a legend.
So join him on Tuesday. So everyone watching, AI Rev, Icy on Tuesday. I will definitely be watching. Yes, dude, that's awesome. Thank you so much, man. You were a great guest. I mean, definitely led Solo and I through the learning curve. So it was a lot of fun, and definitely plan on seeing both of us, where we will be picking your brain and the community's brain. So super excited, and this is just week one of a 6 weeks sponsored event, and we'll be around longer after that. But definitely we have at least 3 more streams we're going to do from the Academy, Fantasy Academy with Parallel. At least 3 more. We'll probably push out more between Silva and I, as well as HK. Probably push out 1 or 2. And so yeah, it's I'm excited, and hopefully I play better on the next streams. Don't kill my own units.
It's all in the luck of the draw, man.
Worry.
I'm sure it's gonna go your way next time.
You were going easy on him. I know it. You were just tossing the
Yeah, I was
bone.
going easy on him.
Silva,
Thank you,
if he
Josh.
says the next game is for money, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, that's when I'll know. He'll be like, "Oh man, you did so well last time. Let's just put $20 on it," and he rinses me.
Oh man, dang it, you guys! I was gonna try that just so Silva would not embarrass me again. Just get in his head. And thank you, Silva. You were, as always, man. Crushed it. And yeah, man. And thank you so much for everything you do. You're awesome. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
this was a great stream.
Yeah, I appreciate both of you guys just being here and having a good time. It was great.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys again. I had a great time.
Thank you guys. All right, and just a quick, so 2 quick plugs, one on Parallel, one on the Fantasy Academy. Do not set your reminders. Time to be decided. But on the 30th, there is the Deception Mint on OpenSea for Parallel Deception packs, and then on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, HKM will be doing the Fantasy Deck Building Series with New Hero and one of the funnier and funniest, in my opinion, talking heads in CT. Jamsey will be our guest. So yeah, definitely put both those in your calendar, and we will see you guys on the timeline. But we don't want that out.